Packing for a motorcycle tour can feel overwhelming. What do you bring? What can you leave behind? Don't worry, I've got you covered with my ultimate motorcycle touring packing list, refined through countless trips across Europe. If you want to master the art of packing light by staying fully prepared for anything the road throws at you, stick around. What's up, my biker friend? I'm Oliver and welcome back to the channel. One of the questions I've been getting a lot lately is this: what should I bring on a motorcycle trip and how much is too much? Well, here's the short answer. If everything you want to bring doesn't fit into a 50-liter dry bag, you're probably packing too much. Now, if that sounds like you, stick around. I'm going to break down exactly why traveling light matters. I'll share the essential tips for packing your riding gear and clothing to save space. And by the end of this video, you'll know how to fit all the clothing and gear you'll need into a single 30-liter dry bag or pannier, leaving you with another 20 liters for tools, spare parts or other essentials. This list focuses primarily on clothing, since that's usually the biggest driver when it comes to bulk and weight. And don't worry about writing anything down, I've got you covered. I'll leave a link in the description to a blog post on my website where you can find a detailed packing list to copy and use for your next trip. Let's get started. Traveling light on a motorcycle isn't just about saving space, it's about enhancing your overall riding experience. Here's why packing less is so important. When you overload your bike, it affects its balance and maneuverability, especially on winding roads, steep climbs or sudden stops. A lighter setup keeps your ride nimble and responsive, giving you more control and ultimately a safer, more enjoyable journey. With fewer bags to manage, it's easier to park, move your bike and navigate tight spaces like ferry decks or hotel parking lots. A lighter and less bulky setup also makes it easier to filter through traffic in busy towns, helping you to get out of congested areas faster. Packing smart for motorcycle touring isn't just about convenience, it's about versatility. No matter how long the trip or how diverse the conditions, the core packing list remains surprisingly consistent. Here are a few examples from my recent tours that illustrate how adaptable this approach can be. Last season, I tackled back-to-back trips, the Transitalia Marathon, an incredible off-road event through Italy's most scenic regions, and the West Alps Tour, which I rode with Stefan, my brother and a small group of friends. Combined, it was 3 weeks on the road, offering a mix of off-road challenges and scenic alpine passes. The West Alps Tour was my final scouting mission for the upcoming guided motorcycle tours in France this year. With a mix of novice, advanced and expert riders in the group, I used this trip to fine-tune the pacing and pinpoint the very best locations for my upcoming tours. By the way, if you're curious about my guided motorcycle tours and want to experience these incredible destinations firsthand, head over to my website for tour dates and details. For these two trips, I relied on my 50-liter dry bag, packing additional items for off-road riding during the Transitalia Marathon and warm layers for the cooler temperatures of early October in the West Alps, where single-digit temperatures are common. I also had a break in between the trips to wash and reset my gear. While I packed a few extra items to cover the extended travel time, the core of my packing list remained the same. My Iceland trip was a completely different adventure, yet my basic packing list didn't change. This journey involved camping, so I added items like a tent, sleeping system, cooking utensils and food. The terrain and climate required adjustments like waterproof hiking shoes and additional warm layers, as I was camping in sub-zero temperatures. Despite these additions, my core items stayed the same, proving how versatile this packing system is. Whether you're riding through Italy's countryside, exploring the West Alps or braving Iceland's icy winds, the essentials for motorcycle touring stay pretty much the same. It's all about packing smart, staying flexible and adapting to the unique challenges of each journey. Traveling light on a motorcycle isn't just about bringing fewer items. It's about choosing the right gear to keep your load manageable without sacrificing comfort or preparedness. By following these strategies, you can reduce the bulk and weight of your luggage while ensuring a hassle-free, enjoyable touring experience. Synthetic fabrics are a motorcyclist's best friend when it comes to lightweight and compact packing. Unlike cotton, synthetic materials are lighter, more compact, and offer better insulation. They also dry much faster, making them ideal for multi-day tours where laundry isn't always an option. For example, swapping jeans for synthetic trekking pants can save space and weight while still providing comfort and durability. Similarly, fleece jackets offer an excellent warmth without the bulk of a cotton hoodie, making it the smarter choice for layering. When space is limited, multifunctional layers are a game changer. Look for mid-layers that can double as insulation while riding and as casual jackets when off the bike. This dual-purpose approach eliminates the need for separate clothing for on- and off-bike activities, allowing you to pack fewer items while still being prepared for a range of conditions. Base layers and underwear made from synthetic fibers are essential for reducing bulk and weight. These materials dry in under 12 hours, making them easy to wash and reuse during a trip. While merino wool is another excellent option for insulation and odor-resistant properties, it takes longer to dry, so it's best suited for cooler conditions or shorter trips where frequent washing isn't needed. When it comes to off-bike wear, it's easy to overpack. But there's no need to bring a fresh t-shirt for every day. One cotton t-shirt for every 3 to 4 days is usually enough, as these aren't worn for long periods. Packing additional rain gear can add unnecessary weight and take up valuable space. Instead, invest in high-quality waterproof motorcycle gear made from Gore-Tex. This material provides excellent protection from rain and wind, eliminating the need for extra rain suits and ensuring you stay dry and comfortable without carrying the extra bulk. By carefully selecting lightweight, multifunctional and quick-drying gear, you can significantly reduce the size and weight of your luggage. This not only makes your ride safer and more enjoyable, but also allows you to focus on the adventure ahead. Packing for a motorcycle trip is all about finding the balance between comfort, functionality, and keeping your load manageable. Whether you're heading out for a week or two, this list has you covered without overpacking. Let's start with regular clothing, or what you wear off the bike. For underwear, I stick to fast-drying synthetic options. They're lightweight, they're easy to wash, and they're dry in just a few hours. I pack a pair for every 1 or 2 days. For socks, one pair of cotton socks for every 3 to 4 days is usually all you need when you're not riding. For t-shirts, I prefer cotton for off-the-bike wear. It's nice to get out the synthetics after a full day of riding. Again, one shirt for every 3 to 4 days should do the trick. I always pack a lightweight windbreaker or rain jacket for quick protection against wind or light rain when off the bike. Long trekking pants that convert into shorts are a versatile choice. This setup can handle different temperatures. For footwear, I go with lightweight sneakers that don't take up much space. Next up is the riding gear, the foundation of any motorcycle trip. A Gore-Tex riding suit is a non-negotiable for me. It keeps me dry, comfortable and protected from the elements. I pair it with Gore-Tex adventure boots, which offer excellent support, durability and waterproofing. For base layers, I pack one lightweight 3/4 length pair of pants for warmer days and a warmer thermal option for those colder conditions. I bring a long sleeve base layer for colder days. For layering, I bring a lightweight fleece as a mid-layer for everyday use and warmer fleece for those colder rides. I can double up both fleece layers when it gets really cold, but usually one layer is enough. If one of the fleece layers gets wet, I have a dry one as a spare to wear off the bike. I prefer fleece over down mid-layers. Fleece is bulkier than down mid-layers, but fleece dries a lot faster and still provides insulation even when wet, unlike down mid-layers that lose their insulation properties completely when wet. When it comes to riding socks, lightweight wool is the way to go for me. They're breathable and comfortable. Wool retains much of its insulation properties even when really wet. And even with the best Gore-Tex boots, my feet have gotten wet in heavy rain rides. However, I never had cold feet, even after riding through numerous water crossings in Iceland. The disadvantage of wool is that it's among the slowest drying fabrics in my setup. I pack one pair for every 3 days. I always carry 2 neck gaiters, which are versatile for adding warmth or protect my neck from the cold wind. For colder days, I would add a storm collar made from windproof material. And finally, 2 pairs of riding gloves are a must. One regular pair for everyday use and a waterproof pair for colder or wet conditions. I stopped bringing insulated riding gloves as they are bulky and give very little tactile response from using the bike's controls. For temperatures below 10 degrees Celsius, I rely on the heated grips of my motorcycle. For cold and rainy days, relying on heated grips with Gore-Tex gloves will result in wet hands sooner than later because water travels from the warm to the cold side with Gore-Tex. Luckily, these conditions are rare, so I can live with this disadvantage. Now let's talk about other useful items that can make a big difference. Earplugs are essential, especially for long days of riding, and I tend to wear them all the time. They protect your hearing from wind and engine noise. I recommend the Alpine MotoSafe Pro earplugs. Our Cardo communication system like the Cardo Edge is a great tool for staying connected with your riding buddies while listening to music on those long, boring stretches. If you typically use tinted visors, make sure to bring a clear one for low light conditions. The lightweight hydration backpack is a game changer. I started using it when I was riding off-road and it keeps me hydrated without the bulk of water bottles. For added safety, I highly recommend an airbag vest, like those from Climb or any other in-motion variant. They're easy to wear and they provide an extra layer of protection. Finally, let's cover the tech items. If you're into documenting your adventures, pack your camera gear along with extra memory cards and batteries, and don't forget the chargers and plug converters you'll need for your destination. By sticking to this packing list, you'll have everything you need for a successful, enjoyable motorcycle trip. Every item here has a purpose, so you can focus on the ride, stay comfortable, enjoy the journey ahead. And there you have it, my ultimate motorcycle touring packing list. Whether you're tackling the twisty roads of the Alps, exploring the rugged coastline of Norway, or just cruising along the Mediterranean, this setup keeps you light, comfortable, and ready for anything the road throws your way. Now I'd love to hear from you. What are your go-to items when packing for your motorcycle tour? Do you have any tips or tricks that make the process even smoother? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I always enjoy learning from your experiences. And if this got you fired up of hitting the road on your bike, be sure to check out this next video where I dive into the best motorcycle travel destinations in Europe. Whether you're planning your next adventure or just dreaming about it, there's plenty of inspiration waiting for you.